Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're actually doing something completely unique. We're going to put on our digital archaeologist hats and meticulously deconstruct a singular, hyper-focused piece of text. Out there on the vast, sprawling internet, we usually look at massive data sets or huge research papers, but today we are taking a magnifying glass to one specific, microscopic digital roadblock to see what it reveals about the modern online experience. Have you ever been navigating the web on a clear path to do something specific and suddenly, bam, you hit a wall? That exact friction is fascinating. It tells us so much about how platforms view us, how they function, and exactly what they demand in exchange for access. Okay, let's dive into this. This is the exact error message we're dissecting. Some privacy-related extensions may cause issues on x.com. Please disable them and try again. Just 2 sentences, 16 words. But for the duration of this explainer, this quote is our entire universe. When a user attempts an action, and the system throws up this specific string of text, it stops them dead in their tracks. It's not a server error, right? It's not a broken link. It's a highly specific, conditional roadblock, entirely dependent on the software the user has chosen to install on their own browser. Read those words carefully. It is a polite, yet incredibly firm, stop sign. Now, the context of this roadblock is kind of fascinating. Where exactly did this 16-word wall appear? We have to look at the isolated URL string to really understand the geography of this digital friction. This didn't happen while casually scrolling a feed or updating a profile. No, this roadblock occurred specifically at x.com/i/grok conversation. Notice that last word there? Conversation. The user was initiating an interaction with the platform's AI, Grok. They were stepping into a dialogue, expecting an exchange of information, ideas, or perhaps just some digital banter. And right at the threshold of that conversation, before a single digital syllable could even be exchanged, an abrupt halt. The platform essentially says, hey, before we talk, we need to look at what you're wearing, or in this case, what digital armor your browser is wearing. To truly grasp the specificity of this moment, we just need to pull this massive numerical ID from the URL string, 2 quintillion, 61 quadrillion. Well, you get the idea. It is an unimaginably large number. But what this represents is actually profoundly personal. This number is the unique identifier for that specific, attempted conversation. Out of the literal billions of interactions happening on the platform, this exact one, initiated by a specific user at a specific millisecond in time, was entirely derailed. This wasn't some general outage. It was a highly specific digital red light triggered by the platform's architecture that shut down conversation number 2061-029-2061-848-70296. And this brilliantly illustrates how the platform defines the tools we use to protect ourselves online. Consider how the platform frames this. In the context of this error message, what exactly is a privacy extension? It's not defined as a shield. It's not defined as an ad blocker or an anti-tracking mechanism. Based strictly on the text provided by the platform, these user tools are defined solely by their capacity to break the site experience. The platform recontextualizes a tool you installed for your own benefit into a disruptive element. You thought you were enhancing your privacy. The platform tells you that you are introducing an anomaly into their ecosystem. Let's slow down for a second and examine this specific phrase, may cause issues. This is a masterclass in vague terminology. It places the blame entirely on the user's privacy tools without ever actually detailing what those issues are. Is it breaking the formatting of the text box? Is it preventing a tracking script from loading? Is it interfering with the AI's ability to process the prompt? We don't know. The text just refuses to elaborate. By remaining intentionally ambiguous, the platform avoids having to explain the mechanics of what data it actually needs to function. It simply asserts that your privacy tool is the problem, period. This builds into a very specific, stark logic puzzle. You're being forced into a binary trade-off. On one side, extensions enabled equals issues. The door is locked. On the other side, extensions disabled equals try again. The door might open. The platform completely frames the dynamic between privacy and access as mutually exclusive. There is absolutely no middle ground offered. There is no continue with limited functionality. You are presented with a strict either-or scenario. You can either maintain your digital boundaries or you can participate in the conversation. You cannot do both. So the crucial point is right here in this command. Please disable them. There's actually a touch of irony, maybe even a bit of dark humor in this. Think about the sheer scale of the engineering behind a modern social platform and a massive large language model like Grok. We are talking about massive server farms, incredibly complex algorithms, billions of dollars of high-tech infrastructure. And yet, all of that cutting-edge technology is apparently brought to its knees, completely blocked by a tiny, invisible 2 MB browser add-on. A simple user-installed extension possesses the absolute power to halt the machine, prompting the platform to politely ask you to disarm yourself. This brings us to the platform's literal instruction, a direct request for behavioral correction. Step 1, disable privacy extensions. Step 2, try again. It sounds so mundane, almost like unplug your router and plug it back in. But look closer at what is actually required from the user to resolve the roadblock. You have to navigate away from the conversation, go into your browser settings, consciously lower your own digital shields, and then return to the platform to ask for permission to speak once more. It is a highly structured sequence of submission to the platform's technical requirements. Which brings us to the ultimate synthesis of those original 16 words. We've deconstructed the URL, the vague language, the binary logic, and the literal instructions. But what this all really boils down to is a simple negotiation. When you encounter that digital roadblock, you aren't just troubleshooting a web page. You are negotiating a contract. The platform has set its terms, and the barrier will not lift until those terms are met. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to reflect on this the next time you encounter a similar digital wall. To continue the conversation, are you willing to disable